Hi friends, in this session I would like to explain about JDBC query. Now I am creating a process definition. Right click, go to add resources, go to JDBC and select JDBC. Okay, now I am creating process. Okay, I am naming this process definition into JDBC query. Click on apply, open this process. Okay, right click, go to add resources, go to JDBC and select JDBC query. Okay, connect this to the both ends using transition. Here we have in the configuration panel 5 tabs are there: configuration, advanced, input, output and error output. In the configuration tab we have name. Here we can give a name of a JDBC query. We can write the description here. Here we have to browse that, give the JDBC connection. We can browse using this browse button. It is the JDBC connection on which we have to perform our JDBC query. Here we have to write the actual JDBC query. We cannot give the dynamic query here. Here it is timeout. It's a timeout value on that means within this time this query must be executed, otherwise it will give timeout exception. It's the maximum rows. It's by default it's 100. When you execute this query, it gives 100 records at a time. We can change this value. If we give the value 0, it means how many records matches to this query, those many records will come into output. Okay, if there are large number of records, then it takes a lot of time to get all the records. For example, a query matches 1 lakh records. It takes a lot of time and it consumes a lot of memory to get all the records. Okay, here I am browsing JDBC connection. Just I have created a JDBC connection with system user. Click on OK. Here I am writing JDBC query. Just I have created one table. It is an employee table. Select a star from employee. It has 4 records with the 3 columns. I am writing query like select star from EMP. Okay, click on apply. Now observe output. It is saying null result set. Okay, click on fetch. Click on apply. Now see the output. The output is changed according to the query, so that the values and the parameters here we can map to the next further activities. The output will be changed after if we change the query, but we have to click on fetch button, otherwise the previous values will be remained and it will create a lot of confusion in the while in the execution of the project. Here we should not give any semicolon. If we give a semicolon, it gives an exception. Okay, click on fetch, see the output and click on apply. Go to input. See, it is asking 3 inputs, but these are not mandatory because we can see the question mark here. It is not mandatory parameters. Okay, now let's execute this process. Clear all and loads and start current. Okay, see the output. It has given 4 records: employee number, employee name and employee age. It is giving 4 records. Now let's change the query to get only required parameters. Select EMP underscore number, comma EMP underscore name from EMP. Click on apply, click on fetch. Okay, see the output. Now it is giving only 2 records, only 2 columns, but it's a star indicated. It means it is a array type. That means we can get the more number of records. clear all and load and start current. Okay, see the output, it is giving only employee number and employee name. Here it is a prepaid parameter are there. Here we can use the prepaid parameters to fetch exact record that we required. For example, I want a record whose employee name is A. Then we have to give the query like select employee number and employee name from emp where emp underscore name is equal to A. Okay, when you type the question mark here, you can observe warning messages will come here, warning buttons. Okay, here we have to give one input parameter. It is employee underscore name. Click on apply and fetch. Okay, now go to input. See, observe here, it is requesting one mandatory parameter which is employee name. We can give this employee name by dynamically from getting values from the previous activities. I am giving here a manual input, it is I am giving A. Okay, click on apply. Save this project and run it. Okay, here I am giving input data employee name A. In the output we got one record whose employee name is A. Okay, here we can give as many as input prepared parameters by clicking this add tab. But we have to remember that the question marks order and the employee in the prepared parameters order should be in sync. That means the first query, the first question mark is corresponding to first prepared parameter. The second question mark is corresponding to second prepared parameter. Okay. Here we can set the type of data type that we are providing. We can select the any data type depends on our data type in the database. Okay, click on apply. Here now go to advanced. Here we have 4 options. First one is override transaction behavior. Here this override transaction behavior is, for example, if we keep this JDBC query in a transaction group. Transaction group is like an activity which can be performed or it can be rolled back. In that situation also we can override the transaction group activity by clicking this checkbox. Even though the transaction commits or rollback, this activity will be committed if you check this checkbox. Okay, use nil. Okay, if you check this option, for example, there are some null fields in the database table and those records are not coming into output list while executing the query, and suppose you want to know whether the field value is empty or not. In the XPath we can use the null, so that it will give an option like it will give a boolean value that it will say the value will be is null or not. Now I am explaining this. Let us see output what we are getting. Here it is giving only just 2 records. Now go to advanced, use nil and click on apply. Go to output. Okay, now fetch it. Okay, now see, here we have one more open tab, plus one, plus symbol. Here it is a nil option, it is a 0 or 1. We can simply map this value in the XPath to know whether this value is empty or not. That means it is null or not. To know the output value null or not, we can use this advanced useNull option. Okay. Interpret empty string as a null. See, while giving inputs and while mapping outputs, some strings are considered as empty strings, and the empty values will be inserted into database. Right now, the most of the database are converting the empty strings as null, but we can manually force this TIBCO to insert or get the null values instead of empty strings by checking this option. Okay. Processing subsets. We can use this option to get a limited number of records while we requiring large number of records. For example, a query matches 1 lakh records and we have to process those 1 lakh records. If you write the query to get 1 lakh here records, if we specify the 0 value, it will fetch all 1 lakh records. Okay, and it takes lot of time to get the records, and it consumes lot of memory. In that situation, we can use this option advanced using subsets, so that we can give that subset value. That means only this size of, if for example if we give 1000 here, only 1000 records will be we can fetch at a time, and later in the next query it will fetch next 1000, and on a repetition basis, while keeping this query into a grouping, we can get all the records and we can process it. Okay. This processing subsets I have explained in detail in other session. Okay. Output and error output. These are the possible exceptions that we can get while executing this query. Okay. That's all we can do with JDBC query. Please visit mytibco.com for more important videos and interview questions. Thank you.